Hello, welcome to Krachwerke. Just wanted to give a quick demo and kind of operating procedures of the version 2 passive volume pedal. I had a request in to make it with a momentary switch, and I can see the logic here. There was another person who ordered one who wanted the LEDs to be the other way around, so that it is on when it's off, essentially. And so what I'm assuming people want to use it for is to kind of drop the volume of the guitar signal into their pedals or their amps for cleanup, essentially, so that you don't need to use your volume pot on your guitar and have it basically the same function as if you would be playing with your volume knob, but you would have it as a pedal function, essentially. So it's a very simple thing. It's really just a volume knob, passive volume knob. The LEDs are just to indicate to you, to give you a visual representation if it's on or not. So I thought, well, he wanted it to be used with a momentary switch, no problem. So I swapped the switches up, but then I thought, you know what, let's make it more useful and let's give it two modes. One is permanently on and one is to be able to attenuate when you depress the momentary switch. So here's the clean sound. So you can now switch it on. That means the potentiometer is now in the circuit. So that's a classic volume pedal. It really just goes from unity all the way down to 0. It is not active, so you can't boost with it, you can't make things louder, you can only go from unity all the way down. The LED circuit is separate from everything else, so it means that they're just indicators. In fact, the pedal works perfectly with the LED out of the circuit as well. The LEDs are really just an indicator of if your effect is on or not. Just to give you a visual representation. So that is the typical mode, and in this mode, obviously, you can use it in front of your pedal board, in your pedal board, somewhere in between your pedal board and your amp, and you can also use it in your effects loop for any sort of attenuating circumstances. I keep saying this, and it's really important, this is not an attenuator for your power amp. So you cannot put this between your power amp and your speaker. It cannot take a load in that way. It is really just a very simple passive volume pedal. It is good for dialing down your volume that goes to your amp or in your effects chain to further help manage your overall volume, but only through the effects chain, to kind of attenuate the volume that goes from your effects out into your effects in. And that helps you for really loud amps, for example. You can put that in there, and if you can't get it quiet enough for your house, if you put that in the loop, you can then further dial back the volume. You do lose a little bit of the effort that the power amp does because the signal into it is a lot lower. But please be aware, you cannot put this between your amp and your speaker, so your power amp and your speaker. Anyway, the next mode is the attenuator, which is on the temporary switch. So as you can imagine, you can't use the two functions together. They're all just one. Each one used to be used separately. So if you want to use it permanently on, just put the switch on and it's done, or use it in the temporary switch option. Now what I think most people are going to use this for, which I think it's really useful for, is anybody who plays with their volume going into their drives to clean it up. So I'll give you an example. This is a bit of a drive. And if I switch it on, I can clean it up. So I'll demonstrate this by using the always on function, the cleanup function. So that was just to quickly explain how this little thingamajig functions. I suppose what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them, they're actually very simple, but they're actually quite difficult to build, especially into this format. I might put them into a normal size, which will make them easier to build, and then put them as a pre-order option online. Let me know what you think, if you want some of these, if they're actually worth putting out as a line. I think they're one of those pedals that are more of a tool than anything else. So yes, thank you for watching. Take care.